I never see anybody doing that.
Yeah, that's why I'm cool. Try to reach a point where I could train my dog to be in the sidecar, and then
Did it work?
He's still a puppy. I need it. Motorcycles are loud, and they
Oh, probably doesn't like the sound.
yeah. So
And
you have
maybe
to
it moves a lot. Does it move a lot, or is it?
Yeah, it's like flying. Like if you've ever been on a motorcycle, it's kind of, you're kind of like, woo! How am I staying on this thing?
Is this good for you? Do you want me to move a little bit back? So it's good. Okay.
So the topic is what we would like to see in education changes. Just off the cuff. Anything come up from our years of working together that you would like to see happen in the classroom?
Yes, of course. And I think it's because of what we're doing and what we're trying to create that I think I would like to see more of that, but in the curriculum, in the spaces, in the educational spaces in schools. So for us, I think what we've been trying to do is create these spaces that are learning spaces, but at the same time, they are spaces where we're not just listening or appreciating, but we're encouraging students to come fully into the classroom, to bring their families, their histories, their languages, their cultures. So we want this to be a space where it's a space of joy, love, hope, learning. So there is all of this, but also in an environment where they know that we really believe in them. So we believe that the kids, when they come into the classroom, they already have genius. So for us, it's just uncovering it and helping them discover it. And when they do that, it just gives them more power. And at the same time, it's in an encouraging atmosphere. So instead of telling students, which we see a lot in schools, it's more
listening.
Yeah, exactly. There's more listening, but there's more appreciation for who they are, what they bring with them, how they think, how they feel, and all of that. So we're listening. So all the time we're trying to say, okay, tell me more about this. So they know that we really care. We want to know how they're thinking, and that's really powerful. That's really valuable. Instead of telling the kids, which sometimes I think is more common in education, is when, let me see what you can do, and let me mark that. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Instead of saying, well, come to me, you already have everything that it takes. You have the potential. We know what you can do. You know how you can contribute. You know that you can make this world a better place. Let's just guide you a little bit. Let's think critically about your art piece. Let's know how you feel, how you think, and let's bring that out. And that gives you more knowledge about yourself and consequently more power.
Yeah, I think you're speaking to, so if I was to pull a theme out of there, it's listening and humility. And I get it. Like, I'm a teacher. Just like if you're a parent or a teacher, you know that things have to get done and there's this rigid timeline and all this stuff. But if you take a step back, how much of it has absolutely been tested or beneficial? It's just how a system works.
Yeah.
And we get stuck in these things where it's like, this is the answer. It should always be, what is the question? So we enter this in this position of authority and knowledge, which we have more experience than the kids and we've studied more stuff, but we just leave humility at the door. And what happens is we don't have these spaces. So now with these spaces, it forces you to be humble because you are no longer the expert of the unknown. You can't be the expert of the unknown. We don't know what Catalina's life is like. We don't know what it's like to be a fourth grader and deal with all that stuff. We don't know. So we are forced in a position of humility. We're forced in the position of trying to listen and understand.
Right. So we become the students. Yeah. We're kind of learning with them.
Yeah, we're all the students.
It's not like we know everything and we're going to teach you and you have to do it in a certain way. It's like, let's all learn together.
Yeah. And I mean, as it should be. Like, there's so much unknown. And there's so much just kind of taken for granted. And we laugh. I mean, people used to take bloodletting as serious. It was just, you'd bloodlet people. Like, you have bad blood, I'm going to cut you open, and then you'll be healed. And so many people died as a result of that until somebody said, wait a second, Why don't we take a step back and not assume that this is the right course of action? How can we do it? And this is, by the way, this is how the scientific method is supposed to work. You're supposed to test these ideas and see what works and doesn't work, and then see how it happens over time.
Yeah.
But here it's like, oh, here's the textbook, here's the thing.
Exactly. So we tell them, I think what we're doing is, instead of telling them everything is in the textbook, everything is within you. You have it. Okay, just let's bring it out. Let's discover who you are. And I think by asking them these questions, like, tell us more about this, or how do you feel about this, or what does that remind you of, or why, just probing a little bit here and there, just in a way that makes them know themselves more and teaches them that it's really important to know themselves, and it's important for us to know them because we care and we love them. So I think maybe they feel this encouragement, and they also know that they have value. It's like they're human beings. They're not machines.
And they also take us off any type of pedestal they might have and realize that it's a process and that we're going to make mistakes, and we're in the process of learning as well.
Yeah.
So I guess one thing we want to change about education is creating a truly safe space, meaning a space for ideas, a space for an adult to feel truly humbled to the point where they can allow themselves to listen. And for the larger institution, the larger school or school district, for them to be open-minded enough to realize that there are no answers, right? You have to walk into this not as an authority that's top down. You have to walk into this as truly somebody who doesn't understand.
Yeah, somebody who really wants to know. So there's a lot of curiosity there. And I think it's good for the kids to always think, oh, what does this mean? And just try to learn more about themselves and about others. But I also like how there's also joy in the space. You know, there's a lot of smiles, there's a lot of laughter, even though there are other things that come up that are serious sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, I was thinking this, like, if you're wearing a suit to work every day, how often do your hands get dirty? Right? Would you want your mechanic to come out in a crisp suit, or do you want your mechanic to have dirty hands? Right? Like, how often does the hierarchy come down to the trenches and just get involved and play in the clay with kindergarten, or revisit this? Because I think the further you get away from the students, the further you get away from that pure humanity. And then it becomes very easy to get just co-opted or manipulated by a larger system that deals with, I think somebody put it as, you deal with the urgent before you deal with the important, right? So you deal with the fire in front of you because you have to. It's a fire, but at the expense of what's important. And that's kind of how I think, one of the ways we've lost our way.
You're right.
All right.
I agree.
Thank you.
Good.